Game of Thrones Season 7 Episode 3 will in fact be called The Queen's Justice. I think this will be just as ambiguous as the Azor High prophecy. I think Daenerys and Cersei will in fact receive some justice in Episode 3. Okay, so let's talk about my favorites first. Daenerys meeting with Jon Snow. In order for Daenerys to give Jon the help that Jon needs, what else is Jon gonna bring to the table other than, hey, I'll bend the knee to you and the North will remain loyal to the crown. Daenerys, she has 3 dragons and a horde of 100,000 screaming, backflipping horse warriors. She does not need that from Jon. I think Jon will have to offer something a little bit more. Perhaps his hand in marriage. What if we get this full-on role reversal and Daenerys proposes to Jon that she will help him in this war for Dawn if he agrees to marry her and produce an heir? Game of Thrones is not one to stray away from incestuous relationships, and I think one way they may get around it with Jon Snow and Daenerys is if Jon Snow agrees to a commitment before he finds out that he is half Targaryen. I think this will be hilarious. The North itself is large enough to fit all 6 kingdoms inside of it combined. I do think that when Jon Snow brings that to the table and that he's the king of the North, it could also be argued that he doesn't have it under his full control. So he's not technically bringing the North into the fold with Daenerys. Marriage will be a valid option. When you look at the short clip we're given of Jon Snow walking into the Dragonstone throne room and he lays his eyes upon the beauty that is Daenerys, he looks to be pretty in awe. So I think he may surprise all of us and in fact be open for this marriage. What I'm most excited for is the fact that we're almost mid-season now, and that's when actor Joe Dempsey, the one who plays Gendry, is supposed to be making an appearance. It's perfect that I know Gendry is still in King's Landing. That's where Davos last sent him, and I think it's easy for him to stay there, seeing as how Davos, like he said, has been on run from the Gold Cloaks for years, and they still haven't caught him. So Gendry is in King's Landing. Jon Snow is going to be arriving at Dragonstone, and I'm sure Daenerys will have no problem giving him Dragonglass, especially since he needs it. Jon Snow will be hanging out on Dragonstone for a few days, or maybe even this episode and most of the next episode, so he'll get time to spend and hang out with Daenerys and also discuss with Davos how they plan on forging these weapons. Davos will of course bring up the fact that he knows someone who worked for the best armorer in King's Landing, enter Gendry. I showed that clip of Tyrion walking up to the ledge when I just mentioned what I'm most excited for of what we have left in this season. I did do a video on Tyrion riding a dragon. I predicted that months ago, and if you would like to know my thoughts on that, you can actually click up here, and this link will take you straight to that video. Another way that Daenerys may receive some justice might not happen in this episode. It might be, in fact, in episode 4. But that is the Field of Fire 2.0. Let's discuss how this happened the first time around. Okay, so originally, during Aegon's conquest, this dude, King Loren I, formed an alliance at Casterly Rock with Mern the Gardener, who was at the time King of the Reach, against Aegon the Conqueror. House Targaryen defeated the Lannisters and the Gardeners at the Field of Fire. Loren I, or is now called Loren the Last, surrendered his crown to Aegon and was confirmed as Lord of Casterly Rock and Warden of the West. Visenya Targaryen is said to have stated that she is glad that Loren rode out to fight them in an open field as opposed to in Casterly Rock, because Casterly Rock can withstand even the hottest of Dragonflame. If we relate this towards modern day, Cersei, a Lannister of Casterly Rock, has just made an alliance with Randall Tarly, recently named Warden of the South. You can pretty much relate that to King of the Reach. It's the same region that he controls. So they will be meeting Daenerys on a field of open battle. Daenerys is going to be taking Casterly Rock. There's a lot of arguing of what strategic advantage Daenerys will have by taking Casterly Rock. Well, besides the obvious that Cersei will have nowhere to run, I think it would serve to demoralize anyone who would have any faith in Cersei. If she can't even keep her homeland, then why the fuck would we think she's a reasonable queen? We don't even like her in the first place, so something like losing her home would be a big blow to her morale and to everyone else's faith in Cersei. Not that they had much to begin with. I believe Cersei's justice will come in 2 separate forms. One will be in the fact that she gained a new ally in Euron because he will be to have proven himself a successful naval battle commander, and also he brought her 2 of her greatest enemies. Arya actually killed Myrcella in front of Jaime. Basically, Arya gave her a kiss and then she died later on in Jaime's arms. A terrible way, one might add, with blood pouring from almost every orifice on her face. It only makes sense for Cersei to pay back this debt to Arya in one way, because we all know that Lannisters always pay their debts. I think she will likely poison Tyrion in front of Arya. She will of course not kill Arya oh so quickly. Death is almost an escape for her at this point. It was foreshadowed in the last episode when Euron's troops came down and were about to take her captive, and she was like, go ahead and kill us now and get this over with. No, that's not going to happen. She's not going to die until after she's been tortured. Cersei is not exactly one to let someone take the easy way out. You know, a lot of people may think like me and think that Bronn may show up and save the bad Posey at the last second, but I've heard rumors that the actor who portrays Bronn was in a lot more scenes, or would have been in a lot more scenes in the first 3 episodes of this season, but they got cut because Lena Headey can't stand him because they used to date. So there will be no Captain Save-A-Ho from Bronn. I do think that another way that Daenerys could get some justice would be capturing one of Cersei's lieutenants, or even Jaime, if Jaime is forced to leave King's Landing by Cersei and go and help try to reclaim Casterly Rock. Daenerys may in fact capture him and hold him as a hostage. I do think both queens will be getting justice this episode. One may just get a little bit more justice than the other. The other day, this channel hit a huge milestone, and that was 10,000 subscribers. I want to thank you all so much for making that possible, and furthermore, I want to thank you all so much for watching this video. In light of the fact that we hit 10k subscribers, I will be giving away this lovely Daenerys Dark Horse figure, but I decided to extend the giveaway until Sunday. I always go live after the show, and I will be breaking down episode 3 at 10:15 Eastern Standard Time here on Sir Hunt's Reviews, and I will be giving away the Daenerys Dark Horse figurine live on air. Make sure you have your notifications turned on so you get alerted when I go live after the episode premieres. If you would still like to enter that contest, don't worry, you still can. All you have to do to enter is like this video, comment down below, make sure you're subscribed, and then once again, turn on your notifications. Like goal for this video will be 150. If you would like to become a Patreon and show your support for Sir Hunt's Reviews, you can click up here or check the link down in the description. I want to thank you all again so much for watching. My name's Mark, and this has been Sir Hunt's Reviews.